we are making the daisy. I am going to be using, I didn't have any plain white mesh left. I don't know why, I just didn't. So I have this snowball mesh. It does have an iridescent metallic sheen to it. So I started making a few petals with it, and it's absolutely stunning. So I'm going for it. This is what I'm using for the daisy. So I cut one roll into 9 by 10 pieces. So for this flower, you only need one roll. If you have some like half decent mesh, some good mesh, and this mesh gives good coverage. And you're going to need 4 pieces of felt. And the normal felt comes in 9 by 12 pieces. Okay, so we're going to need 4 of these. So I'm using yellow. I'm doing a standard daisy.
Penny sold 5 roses.
What's that?
Penny sold 5 roses.
Penny sold 5 roses. Good for you, Penny. And can you imagine? It's only January. Wait till the spring and summer hits. So the first thing we're going to do is, if you're making the wreath with me tonight, go plug your glue gun in. Okay, run, get your glue gun. Hurry. Plug it in, because we're going to need it shortly. I'm going to do the center first, so that's why I said go run and get your glue gun plugged in. And you're going to need one of these styrofoam discs. Now I get these discs just at Dollar Tree. So they're 2 for $1 in the pack. And they're like a hard foam, which is great because then it doesn't melt when you add glue or anything to it. It's this hard floral foam. Usually like the soft styrofoam, it like eats away when you put glue and stuff on it. But this one is amazing, and like 2 for $1, 50 cents each, can't beat that. So this is going to be the base of our center, this styrofoam piece, and we are going to use this felt. And I'll just wait a few minutes so everybody can run and put their glue gun in. I'm not too sure how many people are going to join us doing this, but this wreath tonight is actually it's fairly very easy wreath to make. It's very inexpensive to make. Like I said, use 1 roll of mesh. That's if you have a good mesh, because we need some good coverage to make the flower look good. And we need 4 pieces of felt, and felt is fairly inexpensive as well. Like, I think you can get it for 30 cents a piece or something. Anyways, so I'll just read. Hi, monkey. Oh, monkey's watching. Hi, monkey. Next time I see you, I'll bring you some Smarties, monkey. Unless Grandma ate all your Smarties. Did Grandma eat all your Smarties that I sent home for you? Anyways, okay. Yes, everybody loved a rose. Just reading some of the comments before we get started here. Yes, this is a very popular wreath because, like I said, everybody loves daisy. But the great thing with this is if you use different color mesh other than white, so like purple or whatever, then you make like I don't even know how to say it. I think it's Gerbera or Gerbera. It's Gerbera. It makes that flower. So, but the most popular of the Gerberas is the daisy. So that's what we're going to do.
Are you seeing all the people that are getting requests?
Requests for what?
Their wreaths.
Oh, awesome. Good stuff. You know why? Because these are so different. They're not the plain old normal mesh wreath, right? And probably, now I've been making these for quite a few years, but I'm pretty sure that wherever you guys are, there's not too many people making these. So you guys can have a starting run on them and flood your area with them, because you're probably going to be the only one making them, so you should get some good business. Okay, so let's get this started. So if you are making it with me, I asked you to preload your flower board. It's just so much easier than watching me put zip ties in. In this wreath, we are going to be working from the outside to the center. Okay, so
You want me to go down now?
in a sec.
Okay.
So I preloaded section 2, 3, and 4. 5 is not going to be used tonight. We are going to be putting our center right in the middle. We're going to be gluing it right down. So that's why you need a piece of styrofoam, and it kind of lifts the center, like the yellow up. You'll see, it's beautiful. It's so easy to make. But having them preloaded is so much easier. And we are going to use the outside 8 holes on circumference 1 for green leaves. I really like the green leaves with the white deco mesh. It looks really smart. And we got our 2 hanging holes here. Again, I'm going to put, like I've been doing for, this is wreath 3 for Flower Week. I'm going to use this, a zip tie for my hanging string or whatever. You can put, you can use twine, you can use cord, anything handy. If you're making a wreath, you have zip ties. And I've been, like I said in the previous ones, I've been trying to get in the habit of using the zip ties. A, because I have them always around and I'm not looking for my spool of cord. And B, it's plastic, so it won't break down as fast as twine or cord will out in the weather. Okay, so the only thing with this wreath, if you're wanting to put it outside, you will have to use something other than felt, okay? So if you're making a daisy and you want to put it outside on your garden gate or in your garden or whatever, you'll probably have to use some kind of mesh or a deco tubing, something that can go outside, because felt, if it gets wet, it's going to get all moldy and stinky and everything else. It should be fine on your door if you have like an overhang and you know it's not going to get soaking wet. I have a storm door, so I have 2 doors, so my wreaths always do fine in between the 2 doors. But if you do get a lot of weather on your door, like rain and it always blows onto your door, I would not suggest using felt. So try something else that's more weather friendly to put in your center. But I like the look of the felt, so this is why we're going to start with this felt. All right, so we got 4 pieces. So what we're going to do, I'm putting 2 pieces together, if you're from Texas, together. Okay, and put them as matching so they look like one uniform piece as much as you can. All right, and we're gonna, what honey, sorry?
Go down?
Yeah, you can go down now. Bye guys, I'll see you at the end. Hi everybody.
Perfect for everybody.
Yep, Ollie Fun. Good idea. If you want to put it outside, use the Ollie Fun for the center. That's an awesome idea as well. So, and you could do it the same thing, the same way I'm going to show you with this felt. Good idea, guys. Ollie Fun is a material that's waterproof and fade resistant, and it's really cool. What?
The Ollie Fun.
Oh, the Ollie Fun.
Laughing.
Oh, Michelle. No more, I know, even though I do have Blue Mountains tonight, but they're hiding. Anyways, okay, let's get this started. So you got I got 2 pieces here, and you're going to fold these 2 pieces into 3. So there's 1 fold, and then I'm going to flip it over to, so I have 3 uniform pieces. So you want to kind of match them up as best you can. And then I like to put clothespins on the ends just so they don't shift around. Just like that. Okay? And now what you're going to do is we're going to cut up the side. I'm going to use these scissors for now. Usually I use my electric scissors. You're going to cut up the side of the folded edge. Okay, so now I can't do this. I have my electric scissors that cut right through this or get stuck. That's what I get for showing off, right? So you're going to cut right up the edges of the folded. Don't be scared, they're just electric scissors. So there's 2 pieces there, and then I have the other 2 pieces already folded up. coming up the side of those two. So we're going to end up with, hold on. There we go. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then another 6. So we have 12 pieces of this felt. Hopefully around the same size. Now, you're going to take your felt, and what you're going to do is you're going to put, that's why I said running, put your glue gun on. Now, you can use felt glue, you can use fabric glue. I use just hot glue because it goes a lot faster. I like to use my finger protector with this because I burn myself all the time. So what you're going to do is you're just going to put a bead of glue, hot glue, along the bottom of your piece of felt here. Okay? You're going to fold this over, and you're going to meet the edge. And this is why I would use my little finger protector. If you don't have a finger protector or something, grab your snippers or your scissors. Try not to do this with your finger, because if there's a little piece of glue or some glue on the edge, you will burn yourself, and we all know how much that hurts a lot. So we are going to do this for all these pieces, and this is why I use hot glue, because it goes a lot faster. So try and read comments as I'm doing this.
This one.
Yes, it will be a YouTube tutorial. I have to edit. I haven't had time. I have to edit. So you guys can still get all the videos on Facebook. I haven't edited any of the videos yet to upload them on YouTube. I just haven't had any time. But I will. So I'll just be editing out the beginning parts where I chit-chat. But I was going to do them like, you know, a boring tutorial thing, but that's just not me. I like to talk. So, yes, Dave has to be quiet. He's not really quiet. He can talk. He just can't be his silly self. Plus, he's doing paperwork anyway, so he's busy over there, sitting on the couch. And I keep telling myself I should be doing the lives in the craft dungeon. It's so dreary. I hate being in the basement. Even though it's a nice rec room, I just feel like closed in down there. Not to mention there's so much crap. There's crap everywhere. So we're going to do all 12 of these just like this. It's boring. Now, like I said, you can use, somebody suggested the Olifine. You can use Deco Mesh if you want. So you could do a center like I did last night, right on the board if you want to do that. I just want to give you guys different ideas. They also sell the, oh, I should have brought one up, the artificial flower centers. They're styrofoam as well, and you can get them in yellow, brown, pink, and green, I believe. I know Trendy Tree has some. I bought a whole bunch of brown centers so I could do sunflower kits. I bought a few yellow. So the yellow does look nice in the daisy, the artificial flower center. But I'm using that on Friday on the sunflower. So I want to show you guys how you can make your own center like this. So you could, if you wanted to do a sunflower, you can use brown felt, because this center is really pretty. You could also use burlap and make it with this. So you would fold the burlap in half and do exactly what we're doing. God, strings everywhere. You can use deco tubing. Last year I did a whole like Facebook Live on different kinds of centers that you can make for flowers, like using the styrofoam. So if you look way back in the videos sections, there is a tutorial or a Facebook Live on just flower centers. So I made some different ones, so you guys can have a check on that. One of the flower centers is the one I'm doing right now. This is kind of my go-to for this this particular flower. But like I said, you can make your center right on the board if you want.
Could you use 4-inch ribbon?
Yeah, you can. Yeah, whatever you have handy. Just fold it over, because what we're going to do is we're going to make little slits in these folded edges. So if you can fold over the 4-inch, that should be, yeah, actually that'll probably work out really well. Because this is only 3 inches, so the 4 inches probably will work a little bit better than even this. So if you do it, let me know or tag me in a picture, because I'd love to see it. I've never actually done it with the 4-inch ribbon, but it would be really cool. You could use like even the 4-inch deco mesh, I guess, pretty much anything you want. I see some people were making flowers and they were using ribbon, like bows for the center of their flower. That's a neat idea as well. But that's when you start getting good at making your flower wreaths. Because then after you made a few of the flower wreaths, you kind of get bored, because you can pretty much, they're really easy to make, so you can pretty much do them with your eyes closed. And so then you start to get more fancy with your centers. Okay, so I have them all glued. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put 2 pieces together, and I'm going to put the glued edges on top of each other. And where I'm going to cut slits is the fold. See how this is folded here? This is where we're going to cut, not the glued edge. Okay, and I'll put 2 together. I'll take this off now. Where did my scissors go? Where's my skizzers? There they are. Okay, I'm going to take your scissors and you're just going to make slits. About 3/4 of the way down, you're going to make and leave. I'll show you in a sec. So you're going to cut about 3/4 of the way down. Okay, you want to leave it attached, so you leave about 1/4 of an inch at the bottom. Okay, and then you're just going to make these slits all the way down without, these scissors are not great. Let me try these ones. Oh, these are worse. You know, I only have 200 pairs of scissors, and I use the same ones all the time. So I'm just going about 1/2 inch. There's no measuring with this. Just cut slits. They seem to get bigger as I go down because my hand gets tired of cutting. So this does make a really nice center for a sunflower, just saying, with brown. Okay, so this is what it looks like. Okay, so it's just a strip of felt with little slits in it. All right, so we're going to do all of these. Hey Franklin, you got scissors over there?
No, why?
You feel like cutting slits and
No.
into felt?
I'm doing paperwork.
He's doing paperwork.
I gotta get all these nice people their orders out.
God, I think I need some elevator music or something. Something. This awkward silence.
I know. Well,
Okay, well then, if you know what, are you? Can you read it if anybody has any questions? Because this is a boring part.
No, they're conversing amongst themselves.
Okay, just converse amongst yourselves then.
you have any questions, now's the time to ask.
Ask now or forever hold your peace. Where did we just hear that? It was on a movie we just watched or something. Yes,
What size?
Kelly, that burlap, it makes a really nice center with the burlap.
What size was the felt before you folded it?
It was, oh. Well, the felt was 9 by 12, and I folded it into 3, so it's 3 inches. Look at how I did that math.
Could you
Are you
use
proud of me?
electric scissors? Dave, tell a joke.
Yeah, I could use electric scissors. The problem with that is I'll probably go right through, and we don't want to go right through.
I'm saving my jokes till we can have
No,
fun
Dave
again.
can't tell a joke.
When we have fun again, I can.
When we have fun again. This is fun. Poor Dave. He's just itching.
Tell jokes in the asylum.
Somebody said, everybody wants this asylum thing. Dave and Lori's insane asylum re-thing. Once you enter, you never go back.
No, you never.
So make sure when you are cutting that you're paying attention, that you're not cutting the wrong edge. We want the edge where it's solid piece here, not where it's been glued. Oh, poor Dave. Dave misses you too. I asked him, I was really tired. I'm like exhausted today. I asked him to do the flower tonight and he said no. So I gave him a chance to get on camera.
And why did I say no?
Because you screw it up
Yeah.
and you got big fat fingers.
Yeah.
And this isn't really good for my hands. Ugh, I need a drink.
Dave, are you going to make one of these flowers? Probably not.
Honey, you can make any of these flowers. Well, not the rose. Your hands are too big for the rose. This one you can make because you're not reaching in between mesh and everything because we're starting from the outside.
Oh, I forgot your supper, didn't I?
Last night's was a little different because we started from the inside and you don't want to crush the bubbles or poofs or wherever we ended up calling them. Did you guys see all the beautiful zinnias that were made last night? And these are like everybody's like first time. Fabulous. I'm just like thrilled of the outcome of, or like even just, I know, you know, with my teaching and everything, but it's nice to know that I'm actually teaching you guys that the outcome is like spectacular. So it does make me feel good, like, okay, I'm doing something right because everybody's flowers are turning out great, so I must be doing something right. Almost done. Last set. Thank goodness, because my fingers.
I'm sitting here trying to stay awake. Mrs. Monkey.
Mrs. Monkey. Monkey! She made some rail thing. I was really busy today, Monkey, so I couldn't jump on your live, but I caught a glimpse of the replay. That looked really nice, your rail.
You know who's conspicuous by her absence is Jan.
Jan? Jan is not on there?
I don't see her.
Jan, where are you? Jan's always on. Is Barbara on?
Yeah, Barbara's on.
Michelle Gilnett, she was the first one. Okay, whew. Done with that. Now my fingers hurt. So if you got bad fingers, do this in a stage.
Somebody mentioned spring-loaded scissors.
Yeah, I have those somewhere. I have every kind of cutting utensil there is. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we are going to just roll this. So you're going to put this down on your table. Get your glue gun again. You're going to put a little bit of glue on the edge, not where you cut. And be careful. And we are going to roll, just roll it up on itself. Now you can keep rolling, like you could put glue all the way down. I don't. I'll just stop every so often, put a little glob.
Michelle Gilnett's being a big girl.
Is she being a good girl?
That's what she claims.
Oh. The kid in bed? The child in bed, Michelle.
Well, you can send it on HSN or QVC.
What's that?
Oh, there's Jan.
There's Jan. Oh, they went out back. Did you feed our dog?
No, I was just thinking of that.
Okay, look what we got so far. Yay! Now we have to do all these. So what you're going to do is where you left off here, at the end here, put a little bit of glue. I have fibers all over my glue gun. And then you're going to attach, just continue on. Okay, and just continue on rolling. And we're just going to keep adding and adding, and this thing's going to get quite big. And like I said, you don't have to put glue all the way across it. You can, but I just go in little spurts of glue. Just on the ends, you want to make sure it's got a good amount so it doesn't unravel. Hobby Lobby has zip ties. Oh, her dad's turn to put her in bed. Glue guns are the devil. I know. Carrie. Now, the Poppy. The Poppy is a tutorial that one of our customers, she made the Poppy. And I wish, honey, maybe when you finish feeding the dog, I can't remember. It's Connie from Artistic Wreaths and Blooms. I believe that's what her website is, or her Facebook. Anyways, she came up with the Poppy. I helped her a little bit, but she pretty much came up with the Poppy, and she asked if she could sell the tutorial, and I said yes, most definitely. So I will not do the Poppy because she took the time to actually make a video tutorial for you guys and came up with the whole Poppy. Well, like I said, I helped her just a little bit, but she came up with it herself. So I am not going to teach it, and nor would I if somebody else came up with a new flower that was a little bit, technically challenging. I would tell everybody else to go buy the tutorial as well. So, in a long answer, no, I won't be doing the Poppy. But you can buy the tutorial on how to make the Poppy. And if you come up with a flower that you've designed, you too can sell the tutorial if you want as well. So as you can see, this is getting larger and larger as we keep adding more on. And you can see our center starting to take formation. The only thing with this is you got to be careful. You can really, hot glue burns big time. So it's a little harder to roll on the table once it gets a little bit bigger. So I just kind of keep going around. And just put glue and keep going around. And just keep adding more and more. Ow! Ow! Usually I'm screaming and cussing the F word and everybody will yell glue burn in the house because pretty much when they know the glue scream. But I controlled myself just now. You're welcome. I think the center takes longer to make than the actual flower. So if you want to do a really quick flower, then you buy a pre-made center. Although it's not as pretty as this one, so this doesn't take it that much time. Especially if you're just, doing it on your lap and watching TV. Just make sure you look down so you don't hot glue yourself. Which I've done, so I'm telling you from experience. think we're halfway done. So what we want to do is we want to get this big enough that it's going to cover and go over the edge of this styrofoam. So when we glue it on over top of the petals, you're not going to see the zip tie bottoms underneath. Here we go, almost done. I'm not sure, is there anybody actually making one of these with me right now? I'm not sure if I have to go fast, slow, if I can go at my own pace or what. I bought a tutorial on a rag bow and then I saw someone teaching it on a live. Yeah, you really, it is. Like when I first started, I started selling the tutorials as well. And that was just out of courtesy of other people. And it was just getting shared and, you know, it was very hard to control what people, and then I just thought, you know what, screw it. I'm just going to give it all for free. And now that's what I do. But then I love to talk and I love to teach, so this is actually therapeutic for me. Because at least you guys will listen. If I sat here and craft and talked to myself, or even tried to talk to my family, they wouldn't listen.
What are you saying?
So at least you guys listen to me. I'm saying nobody listens to me.
What am I missing?
Are you missing? I was watching, I think, are you guys still talking about the rag bow? I was watching Grace, is it Grace Monroe Wreaths or something? Anyways, they I was watching a tutorial on how they make their rag wreath. It was a good one, and it's free. So I don't know who sells tutorials on the rag bows, but there is free ones. Just saying. I like them. I'm not a shabby chic kind of person, but I kind of liked those rag bows. But it also depends on what kind of wreath you put it on. It's got to suit the wreath. If you put it on a wreath that's really sparkly and it just doesn't look, it looks wrong. No, that's my personal opinion, but it's got to be a shabby chic kind of looking wreath for it to work. You guys still with me? Oh, we have 300. I guess you guys are all with me still. I didn't lose anybody yet. You guys just want to see how ginormous this center becomes, don't you? We only have 2 pieces left. And the actual construction of the actual wreath itself is very fast and very easy. So if you have a really good quality mesh, I'm using, like I said, I'm using a Snowball iridescent metallic deco mesh. And I only need 1 roll. If you cut it 9 inches. There's that 9 inches again, see? Our boards always have pretty much 40 petals. And that's why I do 9 inches, because 9 inches by 10 yards gives you 40 petals right on. And you don't have to open another roll. Now, however, if you cut it 10 by 10, you have to open another roll. So, I get asked all the time, why do you cut them 9 by 10 instead of 10 by 10 like a perfect square? And the blatant answer to that is because I'm cheap. And nobody can tell when I'm making the wreath that I didn't use 10 by 10. So, there we go. Look how pretty. You're so pretty, right, honey? You're so cute. Guys, the falls is starting to freeze over. Did you guys see some of the pictures? Yeah, that's true. Today's probably, it probably all thawed again. Okay, there we go. That's our center. That didn't take much, did it? That wasn't very hard. And what I'm going to do now is we are going to glue this styrofoam onto the back. So when we do put it down, do you see how it's got the overhang? We're not going to see this styrofoam at all. And this styrofoam will be glued perfectly in the center. You wait and see, it's magic. So I'm going to put a bunch of glue. Now I use, I use Gorilla Glue sticks all the time, and I really need them to sponsor me. So if any Gorilla Glue reps are out there, I'm tooting your product. I used Gorilla Glue just because it is a good product. And you can pretty much get them anywhere now. I buy my big packs, I think it's at Walmart over in the States. But styrofoam and felt glue very well together. Alright, so we want to get this center, this styrofoam, right in the middle of the center here. Voila! See? You don't need to buy a pre-made center. Look how pretty this one is. It's so cute. Now, telling you, do a brown one like this for a sunflower. It's beautiful. Or a burlap. Perfect. What, honey?
Name of your scissors.
Pardon?
Name of your scissors.
My green ones died. If you guys have been following me for almost a year, you've seen me with my green ones. They died. Yep. Slow death. Had them for 3 years. So these are the new guys. And these are Stalwart scissors. I do have the Amazon links to all my stuff that I use. So you guys can grab them as well from Amazon. And they are from Amazon. I buy everything from Amazon. Amazon's awesome. It's Amazon fast. Okay, let's put this to the side. Okay, I'm not going to unplug my glue gun yet, but if you don't think you're going to complete your whole wreath, because we won't be using the glue gun to the very end of the wreath, so if you don't think you're going to complete your wreath all at once, shut your glue gun off, okay? We wouldn't want any accidents happening, fires, glue gun. Okay, let's get to the petal now, after I get all these glue strings off my mat. Okay, so I have this pile of mesh, 9 by 10. This petal is very easy. This is the petal we're going to use for the whole entire wreath. You're going to take your 9 by 10 piece and you're going to have it curl up, kind of like last night's. You're going to put it into a diamond shape. Okay? You're going to take the top corner and meet it to the bottom corner. Okay? And yes, it doesn't line up. You can see that because it's not 10 by 10, but that doesn't matter. And you won't see the edges either, so don't worry about frays. So once you got this shape, you're going to then take this corner and bring it down to the corner here. And then you're going to take this corner and bring it down. And then you're going to scrunch across the bottom. So this is the shape that you have. Now I like mine more pointy. So if you want it more pointy, you're just going to kind of overlay. So you kind of go past the half mark with the one and then go past the half. So you're kind of layering it on top of each other. And you're making this formation. It's almost like a, what is it, a spade or something? So this is your petal. Okay, I'll do that one again. So, you're going to take your mesh again, turn it into a diamond shape, take the top of the corner, bring it down, kind of flatten it. You're going to take this corner and bring it down. And like I said, I like more of a pointy, so I'm going to go past, kind of past the, so this would be the middle. I'm going to go kind of past the middle. Okay, just like that. And then you're going to take this one and do the same. And then you're going to scrunch it across the bottom. Okay, and this is what we have. So you got a fold and a seam at the front here, and then the back is nothing. Now, when I first made the daisy and I did the tutorial, I was putting my petals in with the seam side showing. And then I started doing more of them, and I really liked the look of the seam. And the reason for that is I found, as I was putting them in, not every seam looked exactly the same. So it was kind of throwing the flower off for me, because I have a little bit of OCD, a little bit, just a little bit. So it was kind of throwing the flower off for me. And then I found if I just turned it around, I don't see the seam anymore, and every petal looks exactly the same when you don't see the seam. So you guys can decide if you want seam up or seam down. So that's what I'm going to say about that. I'm going to do with seam down, and that way every petal of mine it's not going to open, and it's going to look uniform throughout the whole flower. Okay? So that is how you fold the petal for this whole flower.
You probably got one you keep setting on your glue gun, don't
Yeah, I just have on off.
People are asking you high or low.
No, this one's ancient. It's my favorite. I must have about 20 glue guns, swear to God. Cordless, not cordless, hot, low, big, little. This is my favorite. It's got a fine tip. It's made by Sheer Bonder. I believe I bought it at AC Moore. And I've not seen any like this. And it's lasted me a long time. And it's just got an on-off switch. So, okay, so we've preloaded our board. Now you can add your green leaves now, but I kind of wait to the end for the green, the leaves to come out, because you do see the sides of the mesh, and the more you're touching the mesh, the more it will fray. We all know that, right? So I kind of leave the green till the very end, because when I'm making my flowers, I'm whipping around the board, and by the time I'm done the flower, the green leaves look like crap. So you can put your green leaves on first, or you can wait till the end like I do. It's totally up to you. So to make the flower, we're going to put one petal in each of these zip ties, okay? So this is row 2 we are starting on. We are only doing 3 rows of petals on this flower. One petal is going into each zip tie, and then row 3, each zip tie is going to have 2 petals. Okay, and then row 4 is going to be 1 petal, and it just makes it a full looking flower, and you won't see any of the board or anything, and it just looks really nice. And then we'll put the center on last. Okay, so you got your petal. I am deciding to put seam down. So what you're going to do is put the tail. You're just going to slip the tail right in and zip it up. Okay, now when you do your first one, you're going to put your second one in and have about the same amount of tail. That just sounds wrong, but the same amount of tail coming through to the center. And that way at least your petals are pretty much almost the same size going around. Okay, let me check that you guys can see that okay. That's it. You see that? And now you can put all your petals in and then cut the zip ties off after you've done the that row, or you can snip your zip ties as you're going. See, even one's a little wider than the other, but you can't tell because the seam is down. So every petal is going to look the same. Now, if the seam is up, if you don't have it, quite right, you will see the seam and it'll look a little funny. But if you do look at my older pictures of the daisy and the gerbera, you will see that you do see the seam.
How many zip tie petals are on the outside?
8. Oh, which row? Row 1 has 8, row 2 has 16. So on the old board, if you're doing the old board, you would have to zip tie the bottom of this petal, and then zip tie and put a zip tie through the back of the petal and zip tie it to the board. So as you can see, that I've cut half, literally more than half the time by just turning the turning the holes. So this is I think is one of the easiest flowers to make.
We bought bases from you. How long does shipping take?
If we bought what?
We bought the board from us. How long does shipping take?
Well, it depends where you live. If you want your boards fast,
Go to Amazon fast.
go to Amazon. It's cheaper on Amazon because it's free shipping. You do have to buy them in pack of 5 on Amazon. That was their rule for us, which we were fine with. But you get them like the next day, and you don't have to pay shipping. So
And then there's if you want to get your mesh.
yeah, and if you want to get your mesh and your board all in one transaction, which is very convenient. Trendy Tree, they're out of stock right now, but they will be in stock any day. So you would get you can get your mesh and your flower centers, the artificial or the styrofoam ones they have. You can get all that all in one transaction. Or you can wait for us, and it takes, well, I guess it'll take about 4 or 5 days to get from upstate New York to, say, Texas. So if you're closer to us, it only takes 2 days. If you're down near Florida, Texas, it takes 3 to 4 days. But it also takes us time to actually get the package out as well. So usually we're about two days in.
So Kelly prefers to buy from the small business. So yeah, from us, it can be.
Yeah, Trendy. I would, if you need to buy your mesh, wait for
If
Trendy
you want
Tree.
to wait for us, it's about, give it a week if you want to buy from us.
See, people ordered today at like, you know, they just happened to order at 3:30 today, and their order's already gone. It just we just happened to be. Today was a busy shipping day, so we had all hands on deck today. So we had all the team in there packing. I was in there printing labels, and Dave and Jay were packing all the packages. So you get them in about a week. I haven't had too many complaints about shipping. The only thing we can't control is once the USPS gets your package, it's out of our hands. So if they're taking their sweet old time, there is nothing I would love to chase them down, trust me, but I would have to chase them all over the United States because, yeah. It was touch and go there at Christmas. I literally was going to go and jump over the...
But it wasn't just us, 'cause Scott...
No, it was everybody. They were so slow at Christmas. But then it's the rush, right? Now they're pretty fast now. Nobody's ordering pretty much anything because people are broke right after Christmas. So USPS seems to be much faster these days. So you can see why you can whip through one of these flowers pretty fast. Kind of boring. This is why you should sit with a movie or your favorite show. Get yourself a piece of board, like a what size the board that I always use on my lap, hun? It's just like a 12 by 18. I just use a piece of wood on my lap,
I don't remember.
and I cut my mesh and everything on it, and yep, I just use a piece of board on my lap with my feet up in the air in my recliner, and whip out wreaths. Not so much anymore, because I'm teaching and everything, but that's how I made them when I was selling them.
Somebody asked if you ever take a rest, the answer is no.
No. When you own a small business, and you run that small business, there's no resting. Like, if the stuff I have found through this last 10 months that we've been doing this, you know, I don't know if I'd do it again. I have no life anymore. I don't go out. I used to be very social. I don't see my family anymore because I'm always busy. I don't see my friends anymore because I'm always busy, unless they come on my Facebook Live and say hi. But hopefully, once we're hopefully getting more distributors on board, that we won't have to work so much. I would love to get it where all I do is teach you guys, and that's all I do. So one day, hopefully soon, that will happen. There we go, outside. See? I love way better with the seam down. So I don't know if anybody else has, yeah, I'm using snowball mesh. I didn't have any white plain mesh left, so I thought, you know what, this will make a gorgeous daisy. Somebody got theirs in 4 days. Yeah, it depends where you live. So we usually get it out in a day or two, and then it takes 40 petals, Claudette, 40 petals. I know, any business starting up, it's crazy. Like, I seriously, if I would have known, I don't know if Dave and I are too old for this. We keep saying that. You know, when we started this, Dave was a truck driver, and I'm retired, and we just kind of said, all right, let's just go for it, and we kind of just took the leap, and Dave quit his job, and we just started doing it full force. It's been fun. We've made a lot of friends. I've lost pretty much all my real friends, but I have all you virtual friends. All right, so this next section, so we got 1, 2, this is section 3. I'm putting 2 pieces, 2 petals in each zip tie. So it's easy if you have a clothespin handy. So you make a petal, clothespin it, make the other one, and then you stick both of them into your zip tie. Now I'm not going to cut these tails because they're just going to be, they'll help with coverage on the board. Alright. So we'll zip this in. Oh, pardon you. Did you hear that? That was the dog. Wasn't Dave. That was the dog burping.
Or was it you?
No, it was Duchess. She's a pig. You're going to bed already? What time of day is it?
9.
9 o'clock?
Well,
All right.
the shadows, so.
Now you guys could probably see why I put 2 petals in here. So it pretty much covers up and goes in between nicely. See how it's going in between the these 2 petals, and you got this third one coming out.
Can you possibly show how
Pretty
to,
clever, huh?
how to make a petal again?
Again? Sure. So we're going 9 by 12 or 9 by 10. Put it in a diamond shape. Take your corner, bring it down to the other corner. Just flatten it out. Take this corner, bring it down, and I just go slightly over the center, and then I take this corner and go slightly over the center. So these 2 are overlapped. So you got kind of an envelope effect here. Scrunch it in the bottom. Now I like mine pointy. You could have it more round if you want. And it's almost like a spade looking type petal. And then I'm going to clothespin this one. I think God should have gave me 4 hands, I really do. But he didn't, so I have clothespins to help me. Some people use a Bodabra to hold their mesh in there, and I don't know, clothespins works for me. They're cheap. Except my metal clothespins that everybody wants. I'm the envy of the wreathing world with my metal clothespins. All right, and then I'm going to stick, so there's 8. So again, we're going to go around, we're going to do 16 petals, but only 8 zip ties. So I'm going to go in there.
Large board.
Yes, this is the large board. We have the small board. The small board is still made. Dave is still making them with the wood. I'm not the keenest on the small board. If I'm going to make a flower, I'm going to make a flower, so I really like the large board. But we had our customers wanting the small board, so we made it for those who live in a retirement home or need a smaller flower. But I like my large board.
Somebody's asking about the blue things that you're using to hold your cup.
Oh, these are bookends. Lolly got them for Christmas. They're really heavy. They're glass. And they are awesome for smushing down my mesh. I stole them from her. She don't read books anyways. Who's she kidding? Actually, no, she got them for a gift. And she really said, Mom, I really don't have any books. All my books are on my phone. I said, well, I can use them to hold mesh down. And they work great. Yeah, see, this is kind of boring because this flower is pretty easy.
What size was the circle for the middle?
Pardon?
What size was the circle for the middle?
The
center.
Well, the center I made it on this styrofoam piece, which is 4.8 inches. And I used, was it 12 pieces of felt to make the center. And there's the, pardon me, the foam.
With this petal you are doing work for sunflowers.
Yeah, you can do it. There's, you know what? Sunflower petals, there is so many. You can use yellow, like this, with a brown center, it will look like a sunflower. About 24 inches. It's going to be about 24 inches when it's done. So when you are shipping though, the nice thing with these, when you're shipping, when you put it in your box, you can tilt these upwards. So you use a 22 by 22 box and you can tilt these up. And when the customer pulls it out of the box, the petals will just fall back down. So it's not going to squish up your wreath. And they do fit between 2 doors. So you only need about a 5-inch, 22 by 22 by even maybe 4-inch box, 5-inch. I think anything past 6-inch is when you start getting the balloon shipping. Where's Monkey? Monkey's on here. She ships a lot of wreaths. I think that's what she said. That anything past 6 inches high. And I know that a lot of you are just new here. Monkey, we call her Mrs. Monkey. She's from Monkey's Creations. And she's kind of like my partner in crime. My wreathing partner in crime. My Texas y'all buddy. And then I have Isabel, who's my Georgia buddy. And what?
Barbara says 24 by 24 by 6.
Is it, that's what the, okay, anything higher than that is I think a balloon, like it's the...
And Michelle says anything under 22 by 22 by 8 you're good.
Oh, really? By 8? Oh, I thought it was by 6. But the lesser the diameter in height, the cheaper the box is. Or, not the cheaper the box is, the cheaper the shipping is. And these don't weigh very much at all. I think they weigh, we weighed one what did it weigh? 1.2 pounds or something?
No.
Because the board itself only weighs 10 ounces, which is great for shipping, right there. And then you add your mesh. Your mesh doesn't weigh very much. So it's when you start adding ribbons and all, you know, when you're shipping like a wreath, not a flower wreath, but a wreath, that's when it gets a little more expensive. But the flower wreaths are pretty inexpensive to ship and to make. Don't tell anybody though. You don't tell people what your secret is. You just keep making them and making, and the people think, how did she do that? It looks exactly like a flower. I used to hear it all the time. And they try to pick apart your wreath to try and figure out how you made it. There was a point there when I was doing crafts shows, I'd have to put a sign up for them to not keep touching the wreaths because they were, pulling them and making it all frays, and because they wanted to see how I made it. It's like, never mind. Just buy the wreath. You don't need to know how to make it. You want another one? Then you can buy another one from me. And that is how you make sure you put your business card or a sticker on the back of your board of your business or your Etsy page or your wherever you are selling your wreaths, especially at craft shows. So you'll get lots of referrals because 9 times out of 10, I swear on my kids' lives, you will get somebody that bought something from a craft show from you and their friend wants one. Happened all the time. And that's why I always put a sticker on the back on how they can contact me. And I've seen some of the comments. You guys are already getting it. You made one rose and now everybody and their brother wants one rose, wants you to make one. Because believe it or not, people, there's actually a lot of people out there that don't want to craft. They don't want to make it. They want somebody to make it for them. I just can't wrap my head around that, but there is a lot of them out there. They just don't know what they're missing when they're not crafting. Right, honey?
Yep.
Crafting's my everything. Anytime I'm mad, sad, hurting, in pain, whatever excuse I can have, I make a wreath. I did a lot more crafting other than just wreaths, but making wreaths don't hurt my back.
You've made just about everything.
I had a do-it-yourself workshop gig going for a couple of years, and that was a lot of fun. I met a lot of great people, and it was just local, so people would come and they make wreaths. And it was getting to where I was having to book like literally 2 halls because I had so many people, and I had to hire people to come and help me and everything. But it was just getting way too much for my back. I had to actually stop. And when I stopped is when Dave, I remember, I think it was Valentine's Day last year. I did a workshop, and by the time I got home, Dave had to come and literally carry me into the house. I couldn't even get out of the car. My back was so bad. And then that's when I said, okay, I can't do workshops anymore. That's it. If I can't get out of the car, it's time to stop.
Kelly asked about if we go to traffic conventions like Stoutwater or David Notes, you can
yes. Matter of fact, glad you asked. I was a speaker last Crafters Convention in October, and I did a make and take. We did snowman wreaths, and again, I was invited back to Crafters Convention again in June, so we will be there in June as well. I am speaking. I think I'm doing a make and take. I still have to get I'm in touch with Scott, but I am speaking, and we are going to be a vendor. That I wasn't sure because we had to lug all our stuff from Canada all the way to Illinois. But it actually wasn't too bad, was it, honey?
Yeah.
And we enjoyed ourselves going down, and we enjoyed ourselves coming back because we stopped in Frankenmuth. So, and we are going to Wreath Makers Live. Dave and I did buy tickets. I did apply to be a speaker. I don't know. I haven't heard back from anybody, so I don't know if I was chosen, but that's okay. I'm still going to go and have fun with everybody. I am not being a vendor because I wasn't. It's Louisiana in the middle of summer. I wasn't lugging everything from Canada, and I wasn't going to fly it all down there. So we are going to be, I may be a speaker or I may just be an attendee. But either way, I'm going to have fun because I've never been to Louisiana. And I'm looking forward to it. So I'm just snipping a little bit of these off, so they're not sticking out so far. Some of them are. So what, you guys loving it so far? Isn't it coming together nice? So what you do is once you put these, I'm done that row. So I have just 8 more petals to do here. But you want to kind of make sure your petals are each going between one of these outside ones. So you're layering it up. And pardon, huh?
Carrie just asked if we booked our room for Wreath Makers Live.
Yes, we booked our room. We booked our room and we got our tickets. We're not sure how we're getting there yet. I'll probably flying. I definitely won't be able to drive.
No, we're fine.
We better get our tickets soon for the flight. I never even thought of that. So, how many of you guys are going to either Crafters Convention or Wreath Makers Live? Because I would love to meet you guys. It will be so much fun. We had so much fun. We met so many, hun? We met so many great people at Crafters Convention. And, you know, even if you're coming by yourself, everybody's so friendly. Like, man, I walked into the convention center and I had all these people. I felt like a movie star or something. I had all these people. Oh, Lori. Oh, and Dave. And it's like, okay, who are you? Because you guys got to remember, you guys see us all the time. We don't see you except for your little tiny photo that's on your profile. So, and it's funny, even around here, you know, Lolly and I went to the dollar store the other day and somebody came up and said, oh, Lori, oh my God, I can't believe it. It's so nice to meet you. And I'm like, it's nice to meet you too, but who are you? Yeah. So if you do see us, run up, give me a hug, but let me know what your name is. If I've never met you before. Even if I have, I'm terrible with names. You'll probably have to retell me. So this last row, we're just putting 1. So it's just kind of going in between those 2 that we put in. I'm far from famous, Linda.
Where's Jeannie? Jeannie still on here?
Jeannie's probably traveling. Jeannie, we met Jeannie. Oh my God, I love Jeannie.
I hope she's going again.
Oh, I'm sure. We met Jeannie. She is a riot. And Debbie, me and Monkey were a little bit intoxicated, and we brought Debbie into our room, and Debbie jumped on the bed while Dave was sleeping, and Dave's like, who are all these strange women jumping on me? And I'm like, don't worry, hon, they're just friends. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Although I would love to be, I wish Monkey was coming to New Orleans, so.
That monkey's trouble.
Monkey's trouble. Did you hear that, Michelle? That monkey's trouble. Because you ain't right. You ain't right, honey. She tells you. I almost got a little bit of a southern twang hanging around to those people, eh?
No, you don't.
But I don't think anybody said A.
Oh, sorry, Jeannie's gonna be on a 3-week European vacation.
Oh, Jeannie. Where are you right now? Australia? Alaska?
Kelly Monkey is Michelle from
Oh,
Monkey's Creations.
Sorry, yes. Michelle from Monkey's Creations. We call her Monkey. Her grandson is the actual Monkey. But she just inherited that nickname of Monkey, Mrs. Monkey. Now everybody calls her Mrs. Monkey.
She's a fantastic wreather.
Yes, she's an amazing wreather. She's a very good teacher. Although she learned everything from me. No, she didn't really.
There's a list of supplies for your flowers. Yeah, somebody answered, never mind.
There is one of the flower I haven't put. I had to rewatch a couple of the videos because we're doing them on the new board. We don't need as much materials or supplies as we did with the old board. So I have to I think it's the fun flower. I have to rewatch that one. Or the no cut flower. Sorry, the no cut flower. I have to rewatch that one to see what's going to be different on that one, because I haven't made that one on the new board yet. And Sunday we have a new flower. You guys have seen it. It's ginormous. I love it.
Jan's not gonna be there. Jan, you know what?
She is not going to be. Is Jeannie not coming like to
Jeannie's
craft
coming.
outlet or craft?
She's traveling Europe.
Oh, Jeannie. She's just this lady of leisure. She's not going to be at Wreath Makers
Jan,
or...
I'm not gonna get to meet Jan either now.
Why? What,
She's
Jan
not
going
gonna-
away too?
Well, she's not gonna be there.
Oh. Now who are you going to hang around with?
I don't know.
What?
I don't know.
You can hang around with me and Monkey and Debbie and everybody else. No,
Monkey's trouble.
Monkey's trouble.
Monkey's trouble.
No, she's not. It's just you ain't right. You just don't like when she tells you you ain't right. Because you ain't. Alright, one more. Where did it go? Here it is. 40 petals right on. It's so nice when the actual mesh is actually 10 yards. Because you do get an exact 40 petals. It wasn't until we started using the 21-inch mesh we noticed that, hey, they really don't put 10 yards. They jip you off. Doesn't this look great? This is awesome. One of my favorite flowers. They're all my favorite flowers. I don't know who I'm kidding. Okay. So you'll just tweak these little petals and put them where they're supposed to go. Make sure they're all nice. See, I like them upside down because each petal, the fold is like the envelope part or the layover part. They're not all the same, but when you flip it over, all the backs are the same. So you just go with it. We're done. We're gonna put this center on, and we are done. Isn't that pretty? Now, I always fix my wreaths on the door, on my front door. I love my front door, especially in the morning, so that's when I take my pictures. All right. Ugh. I reached too far. Now, what do you guys think about that? Isn't that awesome? Perfect. Fits perfect. Okay, I'm going to put my green leaves on before I put my center on, and then we will be done. So I cut my green leaves, so it's just normal deco mesh. I might just put, what do I have here? 4 petals. I'm going to put 4 leaves on. We are going to use the outside 8. So you can see how nice and neat the back is. No pipe cleaners, no covering up with felt. There's nothing sharp on this at all. Got a UPC code, but we are going to use these 8. Now you can, the daisy does, I should probably put all 8 green ones on because it does look really nice with it, the green framed around it. Actually, I think I will, because this has gone so fast. So I'm going to cut these at 10 inches with my rotary cutter. Yep, I said rotary, and that's how it's said in my language. Cutting that is upside down. So I'm going to cut 10. I need four more of these. Man, I think I need a hot tub tonight. My back is just done. Oh my gosh. So again, just to reiterate, you get the boards. You can get the boards at uniqueinthecreek.com. You can also get them on amazon.com, and you can get them at trendytree.com. So if you're looking to order your mesh, Trendy Tree has amazing quality mesh, and they also sell the centers of the flowers and everything else if you don't want to make your own center. And you get your board. So you do it all in one transaction, which is really nice. So when I was talking to them, that was one of my big things, is I wanted to offer my customers, because I tried selling the mesh, and for me, it's not worth it, because I bring the mesh in from the United States to Canada, and then I got to bring it back out of Canada, back into the United States. It didn't make sense. You guys are buying it the same place as I'm buying it, so that is why I don't sell the mesh anymore, because it's silly. But I am going to open another beer here. This is how I really teach. All right, got it cut 10 by 10. We got that curl. This time we are going to put the curl downwards on our board. We are going to turn it into a diamond shape. There's several different ways to make leaves. I just show you the very basic way. This is actually my favorite way because it really frames the flower really nicely. So turn it into a diamond, and then with your thumb and your Peter pointers, or whatever index fingers, you're going to just scrunch from corner to corner. Okay, like that. And this is what you have. All right, and then I flip it. Not usually this hard. And I just make sure I want each leaf to be sort of even. And then I'll put a clothespin on it. So curl down, put in a diamond, and go from corner to corner. Now this petal I'm doing right now is the easiest petal to do for the sunflower. So if you do a whole bunch of yellows just like this, which we will be doing Friday, because there is so many different ways to do a sunflower petal now. It's crazy. So now, and there's lots of tutorials. So you can take somebody's tutorial, and I guarantee you, if you use our board, it's going to be a lot easier than they're showing on their tutorial. Just saying. Because usually there's like plastic mesh involved, or plastic canvas, and pipe cleaners, and all kinds of covering up the back, and yeah. Our board is a little more expensive than the normal wreath frame, but when you add on all the other costs that you have to do, like covering up the back and using, 2 rolls of mesh instead of 1, and the time is a huge thing, because time is money, especially if you're making these for yourself. Not a problem. If you come up with something and you can make a rose on something else other than our board, yeah, go for it. But if you're selling them, time is worth your money, or time is money. So if you can do them quick, if you can do, crank out 3 roses in 3 hours instead of 1 rose in 3 hours, There's your money right there. Okay, so you're going to take a zip tie. I'll flip this over. And we're going to use every hole on the outside. So I'm going to put this in. Now I'm going to try and do it backwards again, and then I'll flip the frame over so you can see it the other way. When you're putting the leaves are going to curl, and you want that curl to go towards the door, right? So when you put your wreath on the door, the leaves will press against the door. So you want this curl to go outwards. So when they put it, does that make sense? Watch, when I'll show you what I mean when I put this on. Okay. So, see how it's curled going down? Now when it's on a door, you put it on the door and you can see that the curl will actually go against the door and flatten out. That's pretty much what I was trying to say. But look how nice this is with the green and the white contrast and then the yellow. Beautiful. Beautiful, Laura. Beautiful. For row 2 was 16, row 3 was 16, and row 4 was 8. So again, now if you put your zip tie in, if you want to put your board down on the table, you kind of have your zip tie in an L shape here. And then you just take the piece that you folded, put it right on the board, and then you put the zip tie in between the leaves, just like that. Now, like I said, you can do this at the beginning, if you, but you do get frays, right? So if you're gonna wood burn them or bag seal them, obviously doing them safely, you won't have as much fray, and you could probably put your green leaves on first if you want.
Can you review the sizes for the calendar and come back into it?
So adding the green leaves, you can see how much bigger it gets, but still it won't affect when you're shipping, because when you put it in, it'll just bend up, and then when they take it out of the box, it'll actually be, these leaves will be perfectly flat, because they still tend to roll. When I'm done my flowers all the time, I will put them on the floor, and I'll put heavy objects on my leaves and leave them overnight. So I usually get a couple books, and I'll put my books on my leaves and leave them on the floor and go to bed. And then when I get up in the morning, the leaves are completely flat, and it's just stunning around the door, when you put it on the door, because it frames it so nicely. So again, you're just going to stick your zip tie in, make it an L, make sure your flat part of your zip tie head is facing the ceiling. That way you put your the tail end of the zip tie in properly, and you're not farting around because the zip tie won't lock. There we go. Almost done. Look at all these 300 people stayed with me. Thank you. If you guys could share this, that would be great. I should have said that at the beginning, but, you know, I do all my teaching for free. I don't charge any groups. And usually, every tutorial I do, even the old people, or the old people, I didn't mean that.
What did you say?
No, I meant the creekers that have been with us since the beginning. They would probably even attest that every tutorial I do, they probably learn something new. Or learn a new language, or learn a new word.
On our silly ones where you're not doing tutorials.
What's that?
On our silly one.
Yeah, our silly ones. These tutorials that we're doing this week, they're very tame compared to normally. When Dave gets involved in stuff, it gets like batshit crazy. Oops. And there's the trucker coming out. Yeah, we can get a little crazy. But we always have fun. It's all in fun. Right, honey?
Yeah.
Lots of
I'll
fun.
learn what flopping is.
Oh yeah, we usually offend somebody. And
Not on purpose.
not on purpose. We're very harmless people. We just, you know, we bring you right into our home. You're in my dining room. You know, I have this huge warehouse with a beautiful office, and I could do the tutorials down there, but you know what? You guys, I invite you into my home. You guys have met Lolly, you've met my dogs, you met my kid, all my kids. And then there's Dave.
Jeannie's birthday's on the 30th. Yes, of course, Jeannie, we're gonna sing happy birthday to you.
Oh, I can't do it like Scott though. Scott's got that cornered. Dave, you'll have to sing to
I
Jeannie.
miss Jeannie that she's not gonna be at the convention.
Oh, did you hear that, Jeannie? Dave's gonna miss you not at the convention. Is she going to Wreath Makers Live? Or is she traveling then too?
I don't know.
Jeannie, you're just everywhere.
I don't know if she's dancing with Elvis and everything.
Yes, Elvis was at the Crafters Convention. I think there may still be tickets left for the Crafters Convention as well. So if you guys haven't got your tickets yet and you do want to go, it's a lot of fun and you do learn a lot of stuff. Like, it's great. And you meet a lot of people. It's a lot of fun. Like I said, you can get your tickets at watermansloft.com. And Scott Waterman, if you guys don't know him, which you probably all do, he runs it. And he's a very gracious host. We had a really, even though it was his first one and there was some oops and everything, he took it all in stride and he did amazing.
Oh, Jeannie's gonna miss everything.
Jamie, why? Why you do that, girl? Well, that means she has to come to Niagara Falls. You're just gonna have to make a stop in Niagara Falls, Jeannie.
Travels everybody else.
Yeah, you go everywhere else. You might as well come to the falls. I think we're gonna have a Unique in the Creek wreath retreat in Niagara Falls, and we're gonna stay at the casino. What do you think about that, honey? And I'll show you guys how to play the penny machine and actually win. And if you want to lose all your money, Dave will show you how to do that. Look at the look I got. That was funny. Look at all the people laughing.
Everybody's laughing.
Everybody's laughing. One more leaf. We're done. We're going to glue the center on, and then we're done.
Okay, people, it wasn't funny.
It was funny. Are they all laughing?
Yeah.
I know. I think it's a great idea. You know, if Unique in the Creek gets bigger and stuff and we get more fans, that's why. You guys need to share, and then we get bigger. We'll have and I'm serious, we'll have a wreath retreat in Niagara Falls. We'll do it in Niagara Falls, New York, so you guys don't all need passports. Because I know there's probably a lot of people that don't have passports, and you do need a passport to get into Canada. Or do you? I know you need a passport to get out of Canada into the United States, but do you need one to get into Canada?
No.
Or just your driver's license?
You have the enhanced driver's license.
Alright.
How did you make the center? Yeah, I just have to go.
Oh, you'll have to go to the beginning, hon, whoever asked that. The center is made with, oh, my back is killing me. Felt. And it's just strips of felt that we, like, rolled on each other. So, this will be available on a replay pretty much as soon as we stop the video. It posts. So, you can watch the very beginning of it, and you'll see. So, what we're going to do now is it's going to sit right on top here. And you got all your zip ties here. I'm just going to push the heads of the zip ties. I know it's really hard to see, but just so that they're at the side, because I don't want them poking into my foam. Not that it'll matter, but. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my glue gun, and I'm going to put glue over top each end of this, because the foam it fits right on the end, and foam, deco mesh, and hot glue they love each other. It's a marriage made in heaven. So once they bond, they bond. So just put a bunch. You don't have to put a whole bunch in the middle or anything because it's really not going to touch the board. Okay.
No kits for this, sorry.
No what?
Kits.
Kits. You don't need a kit. Buy a roll of white mesh, buy some felt, and there you go. And a board. And you can make kits. So you can give people 4 pieces of felt, one of these styrofoam things, a roll of deco mesh, cut them 8 petals and give them a Unique to the Creek board and do a Facebook Live exactly like I just did, and you got yourself a workshop. An online workshop. Now I did that for locals, so they would come to my house and pick up their kits, and we would pick a day and I would go on a Facebook Live and we'd all make them together. Or you can do the exact same thing I just did and rent a hall. And you teach them how to make the wreaths and you don't even have to make a wreath. So if you teach like 10 or 12 people in 2 hours, you got a pocket full of money and you didn't even have to make a wreath. There we go. The daisy. Do, 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 do.
Hold on, let me,
Do you like this, Mom? Because my mom was really excited for this one. Because she's making this one for my sister's grave site. So, or should we just, oh, I did felt. I was going to say, should we just put this one on my sister's grave? But, what do you guys think? Do you love it? Oh, Margaret loves it, so that's got to be beautiful. And same with Joanne. Yeah, it is really fun. And you've seen how easy it was, right? So, roll a deco mesh. Make sure you have good deco mesh. If you have the thin stuff, we went through that yesterday, you will need, pardon me, 2 pieces per petal because you just won't have that good coverage and you'll be able to see through and see the board. But if you have some good deco mesh, and hopefully it's a full 10-yard roll, you will get 40 pieces, and that is all you're going to need. So when I put this on the door, I'm going to probably fool around with it and make sure each petal is in where it's supposed to be, because in between these 2 should be a petal. In between these 2 should be a petal. These a petal. So you want to go around and make it look really nice. You just spent an hour or 2 making it. So you want to make sure it looks pretty and nice. And then make sure you can't see anything. And there we go. That's it. That is the gerbera, daisy, call it whatever you want. It's just a pretty flower. Alrighty. So, any questions? Yes, Janet, it's gorgeous. You're welcome, Margaret. Thank you, Gracie. Bye, Monkey. Why is she going to bed? She's like a few hours behind us.
1 hour.
Oh, 1 hour? Oh, she's old, though.
Ouch.
Good night, Monkey. You and a hot pink with brown center. Yep. You can have so much fun with these, especially with the felt. And to make this center, the felt, like I said, you can buy a piece of felt for like 30 cents. You need 4 of them. And this, so it's 50 cents and then 4 pieces of felt. You have a center. Or you can spend $3 and have a pre-made center as well. They have these really funky ones. I really like them. But it's always nice to learn different ones. So that's why I'm trying to teach something different for each flower. So tonight's is how to make yourself a center. All right. Oh, she worked. Ooh, 24 hours. Good God. Hobby Lobby has them for $4 for $1. There you go. 25 cents for a piece of felt. Yes, the daisy is very popular. Everybody loves a daisy. Doesn't matter who you are. Everybody loves a daisy. I think it's just that bright, sunny center against the white. Everybody loves it. Alrighty. What would I charge? Well, that's up to you, Gina. You have to figure out what your time is worth because the supplies are not really expensive, right? So, a good price. I think I was doing, when I was doing workshops, I think I was doing about $35, $40 per person. Now that's Canadian. So you probably can go about $35 per person, and people love it. I used to rent a hall, and it was a Legion, so every Legion has their own bar. So I made it like a girls' night out, so I didn't have to run the bar because the Legion did that, but I could tell people, you know, come out for Friday night, make a wreath, have a couple drinks, and make it a girls' night out. I filled 2 halls up all the time. So women loved it. So, and they actually got to go home with something they made, which was really exciting for them. And they actually got to come out and, you know, get out of the house and stuff. And then I had people, you know, they made friends within the workshops. And so they came to almost every workshop. And if you want to do online one, you do it, you run it exactly like I just did. You get, you know, some shopping bags, you throw a roll of mesh in, you tell them how to cut their mesh, show them how to preload the zip ties, and you show them how to put it in. Easy. It's really, it's a lot of fun because you can go to senior centers. I did workshops at my trailer park in the barn. Bridal parties. They love making the flowers, and then they would use the flowers to decorate the hall. And then the bride would make, say, like a white rose, and the bridesmaids would make a rose, say, in the color of the wedding, so purple or something. They would use those flowers for their head table for decorating, or make a flower wall for pictures. And then they took the rose home, and they had something from the wedding. So they made the flowers at the bridal party, or what are they called, bachelorettes or whatever. And yeah, so that's a big thing too. So if you want to zone in on that whole wedding thing.
Somebody asked how big that piece of styrofoam is.
4.9. Where does it go? I had 4.8 inches round by 0.75 inches high. So, Dollar Tree. And it's hard, so it doesn't melt. Okay guys, that's all I got for you tonight. And yes, you can buy the boards at uniqueinthecreek.com, amazon.com, or trendytree.com, and you can get your mesh and everything too. Alright guys, hope you enjoyed, and I'm going to clean up and go lie and watch some TV.
Size of the styrofoam center is 5 inches.
5 inches, 4.8. Yeah.
Alright. That's it. Good night.
Okay.
Say good night.
Good night. Dave said I have to say good night. Night. See you guys tomorrow. Tomorrow is Daffodil. It's a little harder than this one, but it'll be fun. Bye guys.